Ooh.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That is my best friend, Darren.
That is my best friend, Bobby.
And this right here is my son, Preston. This is the Hola Bud Podcast.
And this podcast is brought to you by
The Dream Green Cannabis Club. As always, smoking heavy.
When you want some, that's the place to go get some.
Absolutely. Hit up Wes. Going to be open soon in Elko, Minnesota, maybe like a year or something.
Yeah, there's big things happening for him. I'm so excited for him.
Absolutely. Super big things we're talking about.
I did it. I'm doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it, and I feel good doing it.
Damn right, Wes. Hell yeah. So we got your boy here today.
That's right. My son, Preston Skoog.
Super awesome to have him here. He's a great dude. You guys are going to find it awesome. Just listen to what he has to tell you guys about. It's going to be a little bit of everything, maybe some of nothing, but whatever it is, we're all going to love it. So, Preston.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me on, guys. Excited that I can support the podcast in any way, and excited to see what you guys have in store for this episode.
Awesome.
We have no idea.
No, we really never do. But once we figure one thing out, we just kind of roll with it. And we get it. Being that you're an avid watcher, I'm sure you've noticed.
Well, the great thing is you've done so well that it almost appears that you have a game plan on every single episode. So to hear that you're just winging
awesome.
it right
Thanks,
now
dude.
is
Thanks, man.
that's
We
awesome.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Right. That's right. So Preston has been my son all his life, if you can believe that.
20
That
23
is
years.
a long time.
23 years now.
That's awesome.
And he has a twin sister.
Ew.
Her name is Alina.
That's true. That is true.
And she's been his daughter her whole life as well.
Okay, I was not going to go that far, but okay,
It's
cool.
a crazy coincidence.
It is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Same amount of years because, again, we are twins.
Who's older?
She is.
Does she ever remind you of that?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, there's throughout the life, there's been lots and lots of reminders for sure. But as we get older, we forget.
Okay,
We forget.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
When it needs to be brought up, it does, though.
Yeah.
That time difference becomes far more insignificant as you get older.
Absolutely.
What
Until
i-
it matters.
What
Again,
is the time difference?
12 minutes, right?
It's something like that. Yeah, 12 minutes.
Okay, right on.
Not that long. I was quick.
Yeah,
That was quick.
You were like, I ain't waiting.
Yeah, no, I wanted to get out. I wanted to see this world.
Oh man, you've seen it, and you've done some awesome things. We're going to talk about.
Absolutely.
That I can't wait to get into for all you guys listening and girls. Bobby, why don't you let us know? You know, how old were you when Preston and Alina?
Alina, yes. So I was 17 when their mom got pregnant, and they were born 2 months after I turned 18.
Oh,
So quite the life change, definitely. Not just having a kid when you're that young, but having 2 kids. So 2 of everything,
sure.
double the diapers. And they couldn't even be the same gender, making it easy to share
way
clothes
to go.
and stuff. No, they had to make it difficult. And so really 2 of everything.
We had to be special.
And you guys are. You are.
Absolutely.
They are definitely unique individuals. They couldn't be more different from each other in so many ways. They listen to different music and they dress different. They act different. They talk different and they care about different stuff. Yeah. It's been very interesting their whole lives.
Preston, tell me some childhood stuff, like what you remember and like awesome memories you have, and let everybody kind of know who you are. We know that you're Bobby's kid, but let us know who Preston Skoog is.
Yeah, absolutely. Childhood growing up was with mom for a good portion of it, and then moved in with dad in 5th grade, going into 5th grade. And that was in Monticello. So moved into the twin house that we had back in the day. What was that, Washington?
Yeah, on Washington Street, right across from the middle school, that little duplex house that's there on the end cap.
Yeah,
Yeah. We rented one of those for quite a while.
right on.
So moved in there in 5th grade and made some of my great friends in 5th grade that I'm still friends with today. My friend group is really special, really unique. We've all been together, some of us 5th grade, and then, stacked up throughout middle school, 5th, 6th, 7th. By 7th grade, we were all really, really good friends. And throughout high school and I mean, Dad's known those guys' names since I pretty much moved in, and he's seen the same crowd.
That's awesome.
Since I moved to Monticello. So that's been something that's super unique, super
Yeah,
special.
for sure.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah.
Definitely good kids, and they remind me of a lot of the kids that I hung out with for a while, like Tony and Eric and people that I did a lot of construction and did a lot of different odd jobs with, and we just grinded and hustled all the
Yeah.
time and then partied hard at night. You and your friends remind me of that a lot because you guys are always working together and making money together and then celebrating your wins.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's important.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. Good. Yeah, you don't hear of many people sticking with the same friend group, and that's okay because you know you evolve as a person, but it's got to be really kind of cool when they're evolving into the same type of shit that you are, and you got the same core group. You know, there's a saying like you become the 5 people that you hang out with the most.
Absolutely.
And if you've been with that same group, that's pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah,
too.
no,
Kudos
absolutely.
to you for that.
That's something that I feel like we've heard our whole life is,
Yeah.
you know, your friends are going to change and, you know, you're going to outgrow your friend group. And that's something that we always knew that we didn't want to do. We knew we found a great core group of friends and, you know, all of us know each other's parents. We've all, obviously after these many years, you're going to know each other's parents, of course, but, you know, sleepovers at every single house. I mean, feel comfortable to just walk in and, you know, that home is my home as well.
Yeah.
Just the brotherhood that we've all built over these years. It's special for sure.
That's great. That is awesome. That's good. That says something about you, man. Your character and the stuff that matters to you, and you're a loyal person.
Yeah, well, all of them too. All of them.
Oh yeah, I
Absolutely.
can't just give you.
Yeah.
But
No, they
if
get
you guys
just
are
as much
watching, man,
credit.
that's just something about you guys too, and that's a unique thing that you guys have. So cherish that. That's awesome. So coming from an almost 50-year-old dude, that's awesome. Envious, but in a good way.
Preston, you want a beer?
Yeah, I'll take one.
I
Absolutely.
got plenty of these Nordies, the unofficial sponsor. But also today I have a gift from our friend and loyal listener, Tanya White.
Yes, very loyal.
She brought me this Wisconsin beer. Hooray.
Apparently you've never had
or
it.
Boo, Wisconsin. No, I've never had this beer. It's called Spotted Cow. Very popular beer. I've heard about it a lot.
Very,
a lot
very
of people
popular
drink
beer.
it and like it. So she brought me one, said I should try it. And so I said, I will definitely try it.
And it's crazy because I was like, he ain't going to do it on camera. And what does he say? I'm going to do it on camera.
Got to do it on the podcast. Absolutely.
I'm going to check this out.
They asked for my review beforehand, and I said I would hold off until he tries it to not sway his opinion, and we're going to see what he really feels, how he
Yeah, this is
feels
gonna be
about
good.
this.
It's a good beer. I do like it. I enjoy it. I don't enjoy it as much as Northeast. I will tell you that. But I do enjoy it. It's got a nice flavor. I don't know exactly how to describe the flavor. It's like kind of a fruity.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like a little bit fruity. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Does it say on here? It doesn't say.
I'm not 100% sure. It's an ale though.
I'm not huge on fruity beers. I'll drink them every once in a while, like go to a tap house or go to a brewery or whatever, and drink the stuff they made. Try it. It's good. I'll drink it every once in a while, but it's not my go-to. I do love the Northeast. I'm a very loyal Northeast drinker, and I'm going to talk my way into a Northeast sponsorship of some sort.
We're going to get there.
If Shane Gillis can be the spokesman for Bud Light, why can't I be the spokesman for Northeast?
Come on, Northeast, get it together.
They need somebody.
Yeah.
They need somebody.
And why not a local boy too?
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm here in Minnesota. I mean, repping the state, repping the beer. Cut me a check.
To
What
tell
more
you
could they
about to tell you about the repping the beer. Every photo that Bobby posts on his Facebook about when he's out camping and what he has for supplies, it's like Where's Waldo? Because you can find a Northeast in there somewhere.
That is true. That is true.
Just so you all know,
Yes.
if any of y'all that are working for them watching this guy takes you guys pretty seriously, and
I
Even-
watched
he
this.
does enjoy them.
even at the bars, this is what he gets.
Oh yeah.
I watched this guy on YouTube. He does like stealth camping, right? Camping where you're not supposed to. And step one for him, obviously, is setting up your spot, getting settled in. Step two, cracking the beer, right? So he calls it the step two. I'm a firm believer of that too. Once you get to your campsite, you set up your spot, maybe you get your fire going, or at least make sure you have what you need to start your fire, and then you crack your beer. Right? That's part of camping.
Nice.
That is a key part of camping. Absolutely.
Preston, do you like camping?
I do. Yeah. I work a lot during the summer, so I don't find myself much time to do camping. So I do a lot of ice fishing, and that's my version of camping.
Sure.
Now I like to sleep on the lake and spend as much time as I possibly can out ice fishing.
You like hearing that big crack of the ice when it shifts and stuff?
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. A lot of people get unsettled by that and a little uneasy, but I love that sound. It's a relaxing one, that's for sure.
Cool.
Falling asleep hearing that all around the lake.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
If you haven't ice fished before, and you're not sure what it is because you might be somewhere warm, first of all, that's smart. Second of all, ice fishing is we wait until the lakes are frozen, and then we take out your heavy-ass vehicle pulling a heavy-ass camper or ice house.
Even heavier than a camper.
And then you drill holes into the ice so that water is exposed.
Yeah, to weaken the structure.
And
I know it sounds bad.
And then
it does.
And then you sleep out there because people like to do it for weekends or weeks at a time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like live off of what they catch and that's it.
Oh, yeah,
so if you're having a bad day, you're going to be hungry. It's a crazy ass thing, but ice fisher people are some of the craziest, coolest people that you'll ever meet, if you will, coolest, if you will. Ice fishing.
And that's why I love how powerful social media is. You know, I see comments all the time on ice fishing videos and stuff, and people are so confused. Like, just the concept of driving your vehicle and sleeping on a frozen lake just baffles people who have never been up here in Minnesota and seen it or done it. And I just find that so funny because that's been around my whole life. Some of my youngest memories are with my grandpa out shoving my boot through the other side of the family. Other side of the family, Grandpa Pierce. One of my youngest memories out on the lake. He brought me out, and I remember walking out of the house and going and checking if holes were open with my boot. I don't know why, but young, maybe 4 or 5-year-old me, checking holes until I finally found one that was indeed open.
Good enough for
Grandpa
you.
brought me back in, and my socks got draped over the heater, and I got bundled up and sat inside for a while there.
Nice.
Learned my
I would
lesson.
imagine.
Yeah.
Could have maybe used like a big stick or something to.
Coulda.
Yeah.
Not
Not
a lot
as
of
fun.
sticks.
Not as okay.
Not as fun either.
Maybe not a lot of sticks in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
In the middle
of the lake.
And maybe
no
someone
trees
had to-
out there.
Yeah.
I have not seen trees in the middle of the lake either. So that's one of those questions that I shouldn't have asked.
On the ice fishing graphs, on the new ones, you can see whole Christmas trees because people will throw you're not supposed to and you shouldn't do this, but will throw their Christmas trees in the lake after they're done. And you'll see it just sitting at the bottom, a full Christmas tree on the graph just sticking up. And you're like, oh, well, there's got to be fish right there. They got a home.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy.
It's cool.
What's the biggest fish you've ever pulled through the ice?
It was just this past winter, 26-inch walleye, and I'm on the hunt for a big 30-inch or anything over 30 is every ice
26
fisherman's.
is a monster.
It's okay. It's okay. every ice fisherman's dream is that 30-incher.
26 inches right here.
Yeah, I mean
That's huge.
yeah,
Huge.
on the hunt for that trophy.
30. Walleyes get that big?
Oh yeah. If I can catch anything over 30, I'll mount that, put it on the wall. And that's the goal.
Tell
If
you
I can
what.
get one on the wall.
Tell you what, if you catch one over 30, me and your dad will pay for it to get mounted.
Deal.
Yep.
Deal. Absolutely.
Up top.
All right. Take you guys up on that one.
All right.
Absolutely.
Deal. We are definitely going to keep you updated to see if that happens. And I'll also let you know if my checking account gets damaged from that because that shit is not cheap.
And I'm on the hunt this winter, so if you got any spots you want to take me out, put me on some walleye.
Hey, for
just
sure.
Let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to check them out, and
And that
we can
section
get
is
out.
usually right in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Preston, what do you do for work?
Yeah, that's interesting. I was going to ask that, but his dad beat me to that.
Absolutely. So I'm a sales rep at Keystone Builders. So I'm dealing with homeowners, dealing with insurance companies, selling the exterior of homes. So roofs, siding, gutters, windows, decks, you name it, interior, exterior, we'll get it taken care of for you. So that's what I do. I'm in the sales department and absolutely love it.
Good. How long you been doing that for?
This is my 5th season now. And this past a year ago, they gave me a company truck. And that was life-changing right there.
Sure.
Just to be able to stop stressing out my truck, put that in the driveway a little bit more. That was a huge, huge boost. This year, we had a couple new sales reps that started up and had the opportunity to do some training work with them. So getting pushed into that training position a little bit as well. And yeah, absolutely been loving it.
That's awesome. That is super good. Give me some of those, Jackson. Thanks.
What is that you got there?
Fruit Smiles.
Fruit Smiles.
Some Fruit Smiles.
Oh, like a fruit snack
Yeah.
type of thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is that from Walmart?
Yeah.
Walmart brand, probably?
Figured I wanted to go a little less expensive, but good flavor, so here they are. Thanks, Walmart.
They look good.
They are
You
good.
can,
Look at the color is
you
They
can
are good.
tell how good a fruit snack is going to be by the look of it, right?
get some
No, I'll try one. I'll try one for the sake of the pod.
pop.
Actually, I don't need a whole pack. I just
Well, this is a great pod for tasting and testing.
It's just a good testing pod.
It
You testing beer out here? You're testing fruit snacks?
have one, Preston.
I will
please.
try one. Absolutely.
fruity beer, fruit snack. No, that's a good consistency. That's a good flavor. That's a good fruit snack. Mm-hmm. Like now, minus the fact of the blue one in the Scoob. Remember the old school Scooby Doo fruit snacks
Yep.
that had those most delicious blue ones?
That
Those
were
were
like
the best fruit snacks ever.
one or two a pack. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, take away that super good blue one.
Yep.
These taste like the other flavors.
So okay.
In
Did you
those-
take a blue one of these? No.
So, do you think it's going to be like?
This could be it right here. Life changing.
It's not the same
No. Okay.
as the Scooby Doo ones.
It was a good
Delicious.
build up. It was a great
It was
build up.
delicious.
The Scooby Doo fruit snacks are kind of special though. Those are different.
They got drugs in them.
Oh yeah. I mean, whatever they got to do to bring you back.
That was like the first thing I ever put fentanyl in, probably.
Those fruit snacks.
God, they just went so extreme. They're like, not Tylenol, fentanyl.
Right.
We ain't giving kids autism. We killing them.
So you're slanging roofs,
Yeah.
and it's going very well for
Are
you.
you doing windows too? Is that what you, like
Yeah.
the whole?
Oh yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
awesome.
Yep. It's this year's been a little slower. Not as many storms, and the industry's changing a little bit. So just learning to adapt and move with the changes, of course. And that's something that I've always been great at doing, is just recognizing those changes and being able to adapt. And so that's been exciting to do as well. But I've been enjoying it, and over the span of the 5 years, I would say, yeah, I've been excelling at it and absolutely love it.
What did you start out as at the company? Were you always in sales? Or
Yeah.
Were you
Yep.
were?
I
Okay.
went right into sales. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you have previous sales?
Not really.
you? No?
No. I've always been told, Preston, go into sales in whatever you do. And I've always known that I've been a people person. I like
Yeah.
to talk. I can put myself in any situation and not feel uncomfortable. And so I've always known that some aspect of sales or some avenue of marketing in some way was going to be the route for me. And, out of high school, I was working at a hotel with my mom for a little bit there, and I enjoyed working the front desk and kind of getting that introduction into, customer service a little bit as well. And then, a huge shout out to Von Hansen Meats. They were, that was my high school job, and they taught me a lot about customer service. Cause that was super, super important to them.
Yeah.
Was customer service and just making sure the customer's experience was everything that it could be and more. And so you take that with you anywhere you go, and you're going to find success. And so, a lot of credit to that. And then, obviously just my personality. And then one of my great friends, his dad was with Keystone at the time, and said, "Hey, come check it out, see what we have to offer." And I went and did my interview, and it was really just my boss telling me about the position and what it looks like. And I said, all right, so I can start tomorrow. And he brought me on the next day. So
Awesome.
never looked back.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm going to give a shout out to Von Hansen's now.
absolutely, they deserve it.
Their pizza burgers.
Oh, they got everything.
Bro, you ever
I
had?
never had their pizza burgers.
What do you mean you've never?
Never. I've had a lot of stuff from Von Hansen's. Loved the place. Never had a pizza burger.
Preston, have you had pizza burger from them before? Please take.
I'm going to be honest with the podcast. I have not had the pizza burger.
God,
And I worked there for 4 years, so I probably should have had it at some point.
Did they offer it when you worked there?
So if you wanted to make food, you absolutely could. We had a tab system, and you would just go over and
Really?
yeah, you'd grab whatever you wanted to have for lunch, and we were in high school at the time, so we would get there at 3:00 and work our 3 to 7.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously in that time frame, any high school boy is gonna get hungry.
Sure.
So you got to eat something. Coming directly from school, you're not gonna have food. So we would always, you know, grab. Some days we'd grab a steak. Some days we'd grab just the little ribs section, you know, and just whatever you wanted to have that day. Some brats here and there, and you just throw it on your tab, and they'd take it out of your check. And
That's cool.
Yeah, it worked out really well. Absolutely.
So maybe one of these days I'll have to grab a package of pizza burgers,
Oh, dude.
and we'll have to get down on the pod with those.
For sure.
You guys may be impressed. You may be like, God, that dude's so fat, he'll eat anything. It could go one of two ways, baby.
You know, pizza and burger, those are, you know, I would say, two of America's most favorite
Right.
meals right there.
Yeah.
That's two of the most common meals you'll find here in America is pizza and burgers. So you may as well throw them together, and I would say you have a 50% chance of people liking it.
It's phenomenal. It's sold out a lot of times. Like when I went there and asked, they've sold out before I get there because I'm never really early to anything.
I mean, it makes sense because typically you already put hamburger on a pizza.
That's
right?
true.
It's not like it's a stretch.
That is true. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I tried the other day? I had a Culver's, what's that specialty burger? The
the Curder burger.
Curder burger.
Yeah, the
That's what it's
Curder
called.
burger.
Curder burger. Right? You know what I'm talking about, Darren?
Yes.
Yep, the burger with the big
cheese
patty
curd
of
thing on it.
cheese curd on it. Yeah. It was good, but it was a bit much.
That's kind of how I would feel. Yeah, I haven't tried it because I would. It's a thick cheese
Super
curd
thick.
patty.
Yeah. Yep.
Heavy.
It's not a thin patty.
No, it's
They-
probably like that.
and that's one thing about Culver's is they don't skimp out, so you're gonna get what you pay for.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
You're gonna get a thick curd on your burger.
Wild Wings did something like that, but they just put like cheese curds, not a cheese curd patty.
That would probably be better.
They
Yeah.
put their cheese curds on it
Yeah.
at one point.
I can see that.
It might not be as overwhelming with the cheese curd
Maybe.
part of it.
I had that once on the release previous to the re-release. I like it. And just,
You ate the OG Curder burger?
you know, man, I got to try everything like when it first comes out. That's one of the things my kids are like, Dad, this came out. I'm like, yeah, I've already had it. It's like, fuck, you
Old
would.
news,
Of
kid.
course you would. You're so fat. Why wouldn't you have that already?
My question: do you like cheese curds in general? Is that a
I do like cheese
That's
curds.
fair.
pretty
Yeah.
high
Yeah,
on your
yeah. I
appetizer
like
list?
them separately. Yeah.
Okay. And how about you? Are you a cheese curd?
You know, I prefer the ones that are made like the State Fair ones, where they're like not the crunchy round ones, it's just the misshapen whatever. Those are the ones I do like them, but that's my preference on them. Not the ones from Culver's. I'd rather have like the beer battered one or whatever they use.
Their beer batter, I don't know if it's thinner batter or if less batter sticks to it or what, but it's like less.
Yeah, that's the ones that I
batter.
like.
Yeah.
And you can get like big chunks of cheese in there. And
Okay.
So
Okay.
those you ever
Absolutely.
had like
I have not.
No?
I'm not a huge cheese guy. I've never been a huge cheese fan. As I get a little older, I do start to appreciate it more and more. It's like a delicacy, you know. As I get older, I start to enjoy it. But
your palate is becoming a little more educated as
It
you get
is.
older too.
And some would say
stuff
that, yeah.
changes. and
Absolutely.
flavor, the stuff you used to love, you won't like anymore. It's really weird.
Yep, the sweets and I was looking at somebody eating a cinnamon roll the other day, and I'm like, I couldn't do that right now. No.
It's weird because years ago you're like, give me 3 of them.
Exactly. Yep. And that's what I was thinking. Yep.
Sometimes your taste buds can change based on what your body needs too. If you're craving certain vitamin or vegetables or something, you might be craving that that vitamin, right? So like
craving the vegetables.
maybe the sense that you're liking cheese more is because maybe your body needs more calcium these days than it did when you were younger.
Okay.
That's a possibility.
That is absolutely that could be it for sure.
That's an
I just
interesting.
need to eat more cheese.
Probably should.
Well, too much cheese though is not very good for you.
Yeah, in moderation. Cheese in moderation. Yeah, absolutely.
Half the can of squeezed cheese. That's it.
I'm just not big usually on putting too many different things together.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Like, so one example, I like root beer and I like ice cream, but when you put them together for a root beer float,
Don't say it.
Hot
fucking
take.
disgusting.
Hot take.
Oh
Hot,
my
hot, hot,
god!
hot,
Are
hot
you?
take.
Do you feel the same way, Preston?
No, I do not. Feel
Okay,
the same
okay,
way.
okay. I
Absolutely
was
not.
about to
think
push
that's
you
an
guys onto
I
one
think that's
side.
an extremely hot take, and if you're starting to add some effects, you can blow up the screen right now because that's dropping bombs over here.
That's crazy
He doesn't
talk.
like root beer floats, and I think that's crazy. I actually go the opposite, and I think all types of floats are really good.
Yeah.
You're doing
Beyond-
Coke floats. You're doing
No. Okay, I won't say all floats.
What about parade floats?
Well, yeah, we do a lot of parades. Yeah, we
I
do a
did
lot
hear
of parades. Yeah, absolutely.
clouds. You like clouds because they're floating.
Everything that floats.
Yeah.
What's the?
No, I do like I like the floats though.
So it's the thing because I grew up in Big Lake, and one of the only things that used to exist in Big Lake was an A&W.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's
Right?
right.
And so my grandparents lived in Big Lake when I was a little kid, and all of me and my cousins obviously would always go there, and they would always want A&W root beer floats.
Sure.
And I hated them.
Yeah.
And like, what am I going to do? You know,
Be the only one that
sometimes
doesn't.
Sometimes we would go to A&W, and then they would make a special trip to the DQ for me to grab something because I'm
Of course, there
spoiled.
was.
Where was the A&W in Big Lake?
It used to be over by the beach.
Wasn't it?
Okay.
Across?
Oh yeah, yep. In like where the car wash.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, where that
Yep.
there's a building, so where the car wash is, there's a building next to it that was abandoned. I feel like somebody's doing something with it now, but it used to be abandoned for a long time.
Yep.
That was the A&W. And it was such a great location. It was super cool,
Yeah.
right next to the beach.
Very convenient for them.
Oh, for sure.
Smart.
Yeah.
Surprised that one failed. I mean, Buffalo still has theirs.
It had to be poor management or poor
Yeah.
ownership because like that location was prime. A&W is fantastic. There ain't shit else in Big Lake.
No.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so
that's the big thing too.
obviously someone dropped the bag.
So I'll tell you a story about floats real quick.
Root beer floats?
Especially the root beer. My mom, you might know her.
Hi, Judy.
We every time we go to the pizza ranch, her drink of choice while we're eating is a root beer float. She'll just make one right away and drink it while she's eating.
Interesting.
Nah, that's
Pizza
her-
Ranch has great ice cream.
They do.
So I don't blame her.
They do have really good ice cream.
And honestly, they have really good everything.
They have great chicken. They have okay pizza.
Yeah, that's
That's fair.
that's a good.
They
That's
should
fair.
be chicken.
we can't
ranch.
be
They should be Chicken Ranch.
we can't be mad at you for that.
And we've always said that.
Always have said that.
Because growing up, we always got Pizza Ranch, but we never got pizza from there.
Right. Always said chicken ranch.
Yeah.
We should get chicken ranch.
Yeah.
They call it something weird online for like takeout order, like when you do like a DoorDash or something. It's not Pizza Ranch; it's something else.
Oh.
That's chicken related. Because when I DoorDash for extra fun money, sometimes it sends me to whatever that place, and I'm like, what the. And then it's like, oh, it's the Pizza Ranch, but there's a chicken title to it. So
Interesting.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
I've never used DoorDash or any sort of food delivery service like that.
I did for a little bit when I worked at the hotel because it was very convenient.
Sure.
Having everything right there. And I was like, every day I'm like, oh, I'm now in the cities. And I grew up in Monticello where we had not a whole lot of crazy food choices. There's a couple, and Monticello is growing rapidly. So a lot more.
There's a
being
lot of
added.
choices, but they're all mediocre.
Yes.
They're all like your everyday shit.
Yeah, true.
Yep, exactly. McDonald's, Subway, Burger King. And then you get over, you've got Cane's and
yeah, you go
Chick-fil-A.
20 miles one way or the other, and you got everything.
everything. Yep, exactly.
But now they are making the exit where I work They're making that like a destination exit now.
Yes.
So they're getting a whole bunch of everything. So
Yep.
that's going to be nice for the city and for us.
Is that like a 3-year plan, 5-year plan? Do
You
you know?
I'm not sure how long it is that they're talking about making it, but I sure hope it happens soon because they're going to open a Wendy's, I heard.
Oh.
And
They've
I'm
been
tired
talking
of
about this
driving-
Wendy's for a while, and the anticipation is killing me. I love Wendy's.
The faux?
Dude, I can't. Okay, so I'll tell you this. I don't know. When's the last time you drove by the old training McDonald's by Home Depot? Either of you guys.
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
They took the for sale sign off.
Oh,
and they're
nice.
starting to move dirt around and stuff right next to it. And so
Nice.
So is that building gonna be Wendy's?
that's what everyone rumored it
That's
to be.
They've
'Cause
also
it's
been
already
rumoring that
set.
building for the last.
It was going to be a Chick-fil-A.
yeah,
and
it was going to be everything over the last 10 years, and that's what the city.
But
said,
now the sign is finally gone, and they're moving dirt and stuff. So there's hope that something good will show
yeah,
up.
Yeah. There's a lot of things coming in, and I would imagine if it was up to the city, they would already have that whole both sides of the freeway lined up
For sure.
with stuff.
Yeah.
So it's waiting on developers and it's waiting on businesses to come in and make a commitment and make the investment, and because making a new building, that's a big
Oh,
investment.
that's huge.
That most of the time it's not even the business that's making that building, unless you're making like a McDonald's franchise who, we know likes to make their own building and own their real estate.
Right.
yeah, and that's why I heard that spot was drug out so long. It was because it was potentially McDonald's that actually owned the land.
Yeah, it was a training area for McDonald's, like that we're gonna. It was like a pop-up store, and that's why it sucked so bad. When I don't know if you guys ever went there.
Any McDonald's.
So many errors, but before I knew it was a training spot, and these are the first people's first jobs and things like that, and just people were harping, and it sucked because when you go there for fast and it's taking so much time, and it comes back to the first episode where people should work in this kind of a job because to know how to treat people, because people were so rag on them so bad, and I
and
finally
in the
had asked one of
forums
my
on
friends
Facebook.
at the other one, I'm like, what is wrong with that place up there? Because it just seems like no matter what time of day, no matter what, everything is wrong, and things are so slow. And they're like, that's a training facility for McDonald's all around us. So they got employees starting there and learning everything. And then once they get it, then they would send them off to the other spots. So there wasn't really any grace given to any of the people there, and they didn't make that public. So then
nobody knew.
No
about
one
it.
knew.
Yep.
So because of that, everyone went the extra mile and a half down the road and went
Yep.
to that one then.
Yep.
And then it is what it is.
that
But
was a problem.
yeah.
And back to what Preston was saying earlier was like, so when somebody opens a McDonald's franchise, McDonald's corporate wants to buy the land that it's on. They buy that land, they
And they
build
lease
the
it to the
building,
people.
and then they lease it to the franchisee.
Oh.
Yep. And then it's written into the contracts, from what I understand, is that when they build that building, it's now written into the contract that no other food place can then buy it for like 20 years.
So that's why it's been empty so long.
Right, because they don't
Okay.
want to build a building for their competition to then come in and use.
Got it.
Right? So
Yep.
that is part of the reason why that building's been vacant for so long, is because I think for somebody to come in, they have to buy McDonald's out of that contract.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
probably not a small amount of money.
Yeah,
Sure.
That's a big investment. So it's like a random small little franchisee owner
Yeah.
is not going to do that.
And that's prime. That's prime real estate right there.
Oh yeah.
Somebody,
absolutely.
like Wendy's corporate might come in and do that. You know, so that would make sense if that building turns into a Wendy's. The Wendy's that we've been hearing about for a while.
Yeah. I'm about ready for
It's funny,
Wendy's.
Darren, did you know that there used to be a Wendy's in Monticello decades ago?
I do, but I'm not sure where it was.
It was right, where the car dealership is on the corner. Like there's Cornerstone
Yep.
on 25 and 94.
Yep.
And then there's that littler car dealership
Yep.
next to it. right there is where
That
the
was
Wendy's
that.
used to be.
Really?
hmm And then word on the street is that they were selling drugs out of it.
That I heard too.
And then it got closed down, and that was forever ago.
And then
That was when
that's
I was
why
a little kid.
That's why the city didn't want a Wendy's back.
Like it was Wendy's fault. Like Wendy's corporate did it.
I wish Wendy's would have hopped on Twitter back then.
Oh, dude. Wendy's would have blew up the city of Monticello.
Wendy's Twitter's so funny, or X or whatever the fuck. They're hilarious. Preston,
Well, you can't be selling drugs out of Wendy's.
What kind of drugs? I heard
Well-
they were selling weed, from what I understand.
Well,
and back
see,
then, I mean, we're talking in
back
the
then, that's
90s,
like-
selling weed was a very big deal.
Yeah.
it was.
Absolutely.
It was. It's
Especially
not anymore.
out of the drive-through window at a Wendy's.
I don't know. Dude, can I get the biggie bag and a sack? A 20 sack?
I would love to find somebody who was in on that.
Bro,
who
that's
worked
genius.
At that Wendy's, who participated in this. If you know somebody that was in on that, let me know, or even has some inside information, knows of somebody that worked there. You know, let's
Just
have them on the pod.
Let them know that we're looking for them. And we would like to talk with them.
I'm not a cop.
And neither am I.
I am not either.
Okay, Preston.
Nope.
He
Not
looks
a cop.
like a cop with
He
that mustache.
could. That mustache is.
no, I am
look at
not a
that. Will you zoom in on that mustache?
He's not a cop, but he did recently.
Yeah, I just recently got accepted at the Buffalo Fire Department. not too
Hell
long ago.
yeah.
Yeah. So on next Tuesday, I actually go pick up my gear, pick up my and do the physical requirement test, which after doing some looking looks pretty simple to complete. And
Good.
The chief has openly said to us that nobody's ever failed it, so I can't be the first
Don't
one
be
in
the
history.
first.
I really can't be the first. I can't be the first. So yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations
Thank
to you, man. I think the crowd likes that too. Firefighter in the house. That's an awesome thing.
Absolutely. Firefighter Preston.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
They love it.
Yeah, I'm
So do
excited.
we.
I'm very, very excited. Absolutely.
That's so loud when I first do it. I'm
so
sorry,
good.
everybody blew your eardrums out.
Preston, did you play sports in school?
Yeah, absolutely.
What did you excel at? What did you like? What didn't you like?
I played a little bit of everything growing up. Started out, obviously, every boy starts out in t-ball. So played some t-ball for a little bit, enjoyed that, but knew baseball wasn't the route.
Sure.
Played some football, did some wrestling. Football was in middle school, 6th and 7th grade, or 7th and 8th grade. I enjoyed it, but once I got to high school, wanted to focus more on lacrosse because 8th grade is when I started playing lacrosse.
Okay.
And that is what I really, really enjoyed. My freshman year, I absolutely fell in love with it the most out of any sport and stopped playing everything else and just played lacrosse.
So were your boys lacrosse players too then?
Yeah. Cameron was on the lacrosse team, and that's really where him and I got closer at practice, just kind of talking a little bit more. We had known each other and throughout middle school. We had first met in middle school in like 7th grade, but at that time weren't super, super close. But then in lacrosse got really close. So 8th, 9th grade, that's when we became, as close
That's
as we are
awesome.
today. So
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
Shout outs to Cameron.
Yeah,
Cameron.
absolutely.
Way to be there and be a true friend, brother.
I know Cameron tunes in as well. So.
Oh, Cameron, thank you
He
for the
does tune in.
support. We
Absolutely.
love that.
So when we had your son on, Darren,
Yeah.
you told us a story about how he punched a girl one time.
I did see that.
Did you? Oh man.
I did see that.
That
Preston,
girl
is
is
that how
now his
you-
girlland. He's not just running around punching
Right.
random girls. No, this was a
Is that
thing,
how you
but-
landed your fiance?
No,
Oh.
no, I didn't punch her.
No,
Never.
okay.
No, but I was going to tell a story. I forgot to on that podcast.
Yeah.
Preston was in wrestling for a while, and Preston actually one time had to wrestle a girl.
I did.
See, back then that wasn't really heard of that much.
No, she was the only one.
How did you handle?
She was a friend of mine, so like we knew each other very well. I'm still friends with her on Facebook actually to this day, and she has her fiance as well. But yeah, no, absolutely, it was fine. I mean, just wrestling. you know?
Yeah, just did it because that's what
I wrestled
you drew,
with
you
my
drew that
sisters
person.
growing up all the time,
Okay.
and in our household it was my twin sister, and then we had two half sisters or step half, whatever it is, step sisters, and so 3 girls, and then they had their girlfriends over, so at a minimum 3-4 girls in the house ganging up on the brothers was you had to learn how to fend for yourself.
Oh, yeah, I
and so
suppose
I
so then.
grew up wrestling girls all the time, so it was just another day, really.
So it's nothing to put her in the half Nelson, cradle her
yeah,
up.
it was no problem.
Nice.
Light work.
Preston got beat by that girl. But he took it well because he had just started wrestling and she had been wrestling.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So he was like, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
So
like,
you
I'm
were
not
like a
worried about
pioneer
it.
then.
And then I
in
just
the
quit wrestling after that.
Because she beat you, or because you were?
I think it was the jumpsuit.
You didn't like that.
Not my favorite thing in the world to wear.
It's called a singlet, but
I would have never put that on in the first place.
Yeah, you know,
I'm gonna wear these shorts.
I was pretty young when I did
Baggy shorts.
wrestling, so I don't know whose idea it was, if that was my idea to do wrestling or somebody else's, but I did it and very quickly
It wasn't
stopped
for
it.
you.
Yeah, yeah, very quickly stopped it.
That's my son Austin does wrestling, in his first year he ever did it, he took second in state
Hey,
as a little dude, and then he did it a few more years, and then he quit, and then he went back in, and he's been in these big tournaments and doing. I mean,
That's cool.
He's doing football, he's doing wrestling, he's doing track. The kid is, there's nothing he can't do if he puts his mind to it and wants to do it.
Right.
Been blessed with that. Austin and Jackson are both kind of like freak athletes. Whatever they want to do, they're like, okay, they'll try stuff they've never done, and they just studs.
That's
good.
It's awesome.
Absolutely.
And it's cool to watch them. And, you know, Jackson was on lacrosse last year because he wanted to do it so bad. And I'm like, nah, man, fuck that shit. It costs too much money, blah, blah, blah. And then finally last year, I'm like, yeah, all right, let's do it. And then he found out it wasn't for him, which is how you're going to know if you don't try it.
absolutely.
And, but now he's football, basketball, and he keeps saying, I might want to do track, but maybe not. He's got like an endless gas tank. God, when he turned 14, just stamina for a month.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing can make him tired.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. So,
That's the way to do it. Stay busy. I mean, even off season, I was playing winter league lacrosse and stuff. So
Yeah.
just finding ways to stay busy is, you got to do it. Absolutely. You know, the multi-sport athlete, that's where you want to be. So keep them in it for sure.
I encourage it as much as I can.
Yeah.
You know,
And
let's do
lacrosse
this
is relative to other sports. You know,
Yeah.
if you're comparing it to hockey, it's a cheap sport.
and- very cheap. Hockey, that's the one
Yeah.
sport I say Jackson can't do.
Yeah.
That's the one sport I always told Preston I wasn't going to pay for. I was
Yeah,
like,
that-
dude,
that's exactly
hockey
the
is
reason.
so expensive and
Yeah.
it's so time consuming.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is one that I definitely enjoy. And, you know.
Do you play?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
He was
okay.
always at 4th Street playing winter.
Oh, were you?
hockey.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
absolutely. Yep. I definitely. And then men's league, they do open hockey up at the rink in
Now, is it
Monticello.
boot hockey or is it like
No,
legit?
no.
Oh,
Yep. On
okay.
skates. Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely. And I did that more a couple of years ago, but and then just kind of fizzled out a little bit, and that league kind of fizzled out a little bit. But you know, going and playing that actual format is a lot of fun for sure. But then going to 4th Street with friends, and that was a staple of high school.
Sure.
You know, all throughout the winter before any of us could go and had ice houses or anything like that. You know, it was all right. Let's go to 4th Street and spend our day up on the ice
On
that
the
way.
ice, yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome. So I see you have a duck on your hat.
I do.
And you do like to ice fish.
Yeah.
Do you like hunting?
I do enjoy hunting. I don't hunt as much as I ice fish, and I will start to do that more as we get a little older. Our friend group has become open to more hobbies.
Okay.
And so some of us want to do more ice fishing. Some of us want to do more hunting. Some of us want to do a little bit more snowmobiling. So,
Sure.
you know, went and bought a snowmobile over this past year.
Nice, fun.
You know, and I have a shotgun. I have guns for hunting.
Yeah.
So definitely enjoy it. Wish I did it more. But I also don't have I know it sounds crazy because I sit on the ice for 24 hours and wait for a fish to bite, but I don't have the patience to sit in a deer stand all day long either.
But in this ice house, he has probably a TV,
I do.
maybe a game console,
Yeah.
and music and all this stuff. And if you make even in the deer stand, they look at you and then they just
Exactly.
gone.
Yeah, it is
So-
much different. Yeah,
Very
you are
different.
just sitting there being very quiet. Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool.
And
the hat
all
is
expensive
golf.
hobbies, so you can't do them all at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
You get
exactly.
a nice
that.
gun cost you $1,400.
That is true. Yeah,
So-
that is true. Absolutely. But no, the hat is a golf hat because I do enjoy
Oh.
golf. If I have any time in the summer, that is where I'm spending it, is on the golf course, and that's so the brand is Waggle, and that's a Minnesota company, so we love to support them.
Yeah,
and I
for
think
sure.
they've got the best hats on the market right now. So
So it really messed me up because I thought it was something to do with hunting birds,
yeah, no,
duck
no,
hunting. But now you say golf, and then I'm looking at the side of your hat, and it looks like there could be divots from the golf ball, maybe. On the
yeah,
side of your hat.
yeah.
So,
You know, they've got a
tricky.
lot of great logos on their hats
Yeah?
for sure,
Cool.
ranging from ducks to gorillas and
Oh, nice.
Sasquatches and.
I do see people
Sasquatch.
wearing those hats a lot, especially the fact that I work in sales and salespeople love golf. So
Yeah.
I see those hats a lot.
Cool. I had no idea. Again, uneducated, so now I needed to learn. And thank you for
Tap in.
educating me. Appreciate it.
Tap in.
You do get a
Waggle.
good education on the Hola Bud podcast. We do educate as often as we can about things. And if you have anything that you'd like us to educate you about right in this area, yep, right in there, you're going to put it in there, and we're going to educate you guys on that.
That's right.
So
I'm very, very proud of you, Preston. Not like for everything that you do in your life, but especially for your recent endeavor in being a firefighter.
Thank you.
It's something that, my grandpa was a firefighter. All his brothers were firefighters. My uncles were firefighters. It's something that I've actually put a lot of thought into throughout my life. I don't know if I'll ever actually do it. One, because I have very bad asthma. And two, I just, I'm now 41. I don't know if it's a great time to start being a firefighter, but it is something I've thought about a lot. And so when you told me that you wanted to be a firefighter, it made me very, very proud. Like
Thank
it
you.
really did. It's something you can do for your community that you really don't expect anything back.
Yeah.
And nobody has anything bad to say about firefighters.
Right.
Right. Like cops abuse their power. People
No, I've
join the
never heard
military
anything
for
bad
bad
of
reasons,
firefighters.
whatever. But firefighters, that's such a selfless thing for
Yeah.
your community. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
That
something
is-
that,
that
I've
is
always
awesome,
wanted
buddy.
to do.
That's super awesome.
Absolutely. Like you said, your grandpa, who was my great grandpa, who I was very, very blessed to know 23 years. He was a firefighter.
is that Grandpa Scoop?
That is. Yep, that's Grandpa Skoog right
Nice,
there.
nice. What a
Yep.
good dude he was.
A
man.
great, great man. Absolutely. He was assistant chief and on his department for
Oh.
30 years. So over in Big Lake. So
Awesome.
that was something I saw my whole life. And then my other grandpa, my mom's dad, he was on his department for 20 years as well over
Wow.
in Princeton. So both sides of my family, my whole life, I've always seen, that field and always been intrigued by it,
Yeah.
riding in the trucks as a little youngster all the way up till just a couple years ago or last year when Grandpa got his last ride in the truck. Been riding in trucks forever and been around it forever and knew that it was something that I wanted to do, and finally settling down now and getting to that point where I did make that step. And yeah, there was 5 of us getting interviewed and 3 of us that got accepted. So
Awesome.
yeah, made it through the interview process, and that was the biggest interview that I've ever done, honestly, because for work, I didn't really have an interview. It was just a conversation, really, where this was, a 5-panel, 5 people interviewing you all at one time and just going through their list of questions. And
The random shot. Doom, doom, doom,
yeah,
doom.
exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. And afterwards, after the interview, I thought I did okay. There was a couple of questions that I went back on, and I said, I could have answered that this way, or maybe reiterated that in this sense, and kind of had some second guesses on it. And it took about a month and a couple of weeks, and finally I got that email back that you were selected, and go past the drug test and go past this and your physical. And so went in and took care of business quick, and obviously,
Nice, dude. That's such a hero thing to do, man. Is you got to be super brave for that shit. Because I tell you what, if you ask people the worst ways that they can imagine dying, it's drowning and fires.
Yeah.
Those are the top 2 answers. You don't hear getting chainsawed and ripped in half, and that's just not realistic.
Right.
Reality
Yep.
sits in, and you're going to be like, nah, man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna keep these kids and these people and this cat and whatever else out of this place. And that's fucking hero shit right there. So thanks, man.
Absolutely. I'm
We need
excited
more
to
like
do it.
that.
I'm excited to. Absolutely.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Preston, is there anything else specifically that you want to talk about today? Anything that you want to share about yourself, or any specific topics that you want to talk about, or any shout outs you want to give, or anything like that?
I would say my biggest shout out is you guys for having me on. It's been very, very fun. This episode, we're already almost an hour in, and we've flown by. It's been amazing. The time just absolutely flew by because we've been having so much fun.
How it goes. Yeah.
It's crazy. It seems like 5 minutes ago we just sat down.
No, exactly.
Oh yeah, the music.
Yeah, exactly. This is a great system you've got here. I love the advancements that you've made already. I've never been a part of something like this. I've never done a podcast before, so I've never thrown on the headset and heard my voice and everybody else's.
It's
right
very
back in
good.
my
It's a
ears.
very good voice.
It is a fun and soothing thing to just hear you guys right in my ears and just, be immersed right into this atmosphere. So that has been very, very cool so far. But I want to hear both of your guys' perspectives on what you think has been the most fun moment in, it doesn't have to be Hola Buds, but your filming career, I should say, because it is something that you are trying to make a career now at this point. And so I would say, what has been the most fun moment or the most eye-opening moment in this journey that you guys are starting on? And whoever wants to go first, don't speak over each other.
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing has been very fun so far. I mean, we're only like, I don't even know how many episodes we're in right now, but it's not that many, and the growth and the feedback we've been getting from people has been pretty phenomenal already. People that enjoy listening to us, and people that have been reaching out and wanting to be on the podcast,
Yeah.
right? They want to be part of it. They want to sit down and chat with us, and that's very cool. That's very exciting for me. And like the fact that we've kind of, obviously we're trying to keep it light, trying to keep it fun, and we crack jokes and shit all the time, but we have actually cracked into some deep topics, especially these past couple of episodes. We
Most
really
definitely.
got really deep into some things, some psychological shit, and that's like very fun and interesting to me, because that's the type of conversations I like to have. I don't really like to have a lot of small talk with people. I don't like to talk about the weather and work and shit like that. I like to talk about like big ideas and concepts, and like digging into our own mentality and why we are the way we are. And the past couple of episodes, I think we've really got into that a lot. And
Yeah.
that is fun and exciting to me. And I think the more that we can do stuff like that, obviously it's not the only thing I'm trying to do, but like, to be able to mix those good in-depth conversations with some fun, light stuff and crack jokes and whatever. And just, like that's the biggest thing to me. And the feedback we've gotten from that, like my favorite compliment that we get from anybody is, dude, I love how real you guys are, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just a real conversation. And that's exactly what we aim for. We don't
Yeah.
plan this shit. We don't script this stuff. We don't talk very much about what we want to do. We just push record and we just do it, and that to me is the best, most favorite thing
Yeah.
about all of it.
And that's true. I got here 3 minutes before we pressed play on the camera here.
Yeah.
Maybe even 2 minutes. But walked in, sat down, and learned that every episode has been just on the fly. And that, like I said, that was awesome to hear for sure. So
We got to keep
very
it
good
that
insight.
way.
Yeah,
We gotta keep it that way,
absolutely.
because
I mean, it's working right now.
if it's rehearsed, you're gonna know it's rehearsed. If,
Yeah.
If I'm like,
Yep.
hey, bro, we're gonna talk about you doing this and you doing that.
Yep.
But let's not go here. No, there's nothing off limits.
Yep.
And if we get somewhere you don't want to say, any guest has any right to be like, yeah, man, we're not gonna.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Then
Yep.
we because we want as real as we can have, and getting that feedback about how real it is and how we're just out here having a good time, trying to let people know that, hey, man, everybody has got a story.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
let's share it, and let's all just become real good buds, all of us. And you might say something that's going to resonate with someone that's going to be like, dude, I was doing that stuff, and this was so cool for me too. And
absolutely.
I don't like a cheese curd that's big, something like that. But
Good callback. Good callback.
That feedback that we get is so good. And I the big thing for me when I started wanting to do this with Bobby was reverting back to our first episode about how I don't want anyone to ever feel alone.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there, and I'm sure at one point or another we've all, but you're not. Someone's here. Reach out. I've lost a lot of people, and it's important to me that this podcast is put out to people that they can hear, and our stuff is on the side of the video so you can get a hold of us. But if you're thinking, this is it, there's a lot of things and people you're not thinking about.
Yeah. Somebody would rather hear your story or rather hear your struggle than hear about your story.
Exactly. Yeah, perfectly said. If you want to be a guest, if you want to get something off your chest, if you want to just reach out and say, dude, thanks, or just reach out and not even say anything, just be like, hi. Right. Then at least when we reply back to you, we're here. Mm-hmm. It's just do that. That's for me, the biggest thing is having that opportunity.
Awesome.
And anyone is welcome to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. Everybody deserves a voice.
There is nothing worse than being surrounded by people and feeling alone, or like realizing there's 8 billion people in the world, but then you feel lonely, right? That's like the worst fucking thing in the world. And hopefully we can help people not feel like that. Hopefully if somebody feels like that, maybe they can watch the pod and feel like, hey, I'm not alone. There's people out here that are just like me. Because, obviously I want to promote people's businesses and I want to promote people's art and that sort of stuff. But like Darren said, everyone has a story to tell. Everyone has an opinion, right? Everybody's got something to talk about, right? And everybody can say something that is going to resonate with another person, right? If you talk about the things that you've dealt with, the things that you've overcome, and the things that you've built in your life, somebody can look at that and go, that sounds like a lot like what I'm dealing with, right? And if they can do it, I can do it. Mm-hmm. If these freaking weirdos with tattoos all over them and, they're drinking beer and smoking weed and whatever, like, if they can do something with their life, why can't I? Yeah. If this person been through drug addiction and violence like our last guest, Justin, if he can make it through the life he made it through, why can't I? Mm-hmm. Like that is important. That's big. And these conversations that we have, AI can't make this. Yeah. You know what I mean? AI can make a lot of things. I use AI for very cool pictures, right? And whatever, I have mixed feelings about it. But like AI could never recreate this conversation, this connection that we have here.
Absolutely.
That's important to maintain.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. Everybody watching, you are loved by all of us. You are our buds.
Mm-hmm. Like Jackie Moon said, everybody love everybody.
That's it. You know what?
Absolutely.
If that happened, the world would be such a good place.
Yeah. Shout out to the great Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon.
Man, them Flint Tropics.
That is an all-time classic right there.
I actually, the other day on Facebook, I was scrolling and I saw a Jackie Moon jersey for sale.
Oh, dude,
I wanted to buy it so bad. I really did.
A couple years ago, that's what I was going to be for Halloween. And then we ended up not doing anything for Halloween that year.
Been beautiful.
I had no reason to do it. But I would love to be Jackie Moon.
Awesome.
Love me sexy. It's a classic movie right there.
It is. Semi-pro, if you're not aware of it. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you so much for coming here, Preston.
Absolutely.
I do hope we have you on again someday. I'm sure we will.
If he catches that fish, bro, we ain't got a choice but to have him on.
I got to come back and show off the mount. I got to come back with an update. Absolutely.
For sure.
No, I'll be back. Absolutely. This is a great time, and I'm excited to come back on. I think this is a great step into the podcast scene. Like I said, I've never done anything like it. So maybe let me know if I need to look at the camera more or whatever I need to do to step up the game next time. But we will be back.
Next time, we should have Preston and your son Jackson on at the same time.
Yeah.
And we should grill some pizza burgers from Von Hansen's.
What a great idea.
Dude, that would be amazing.
What a great idea.
An event.
Absolutely.
That could be like our 20th episode or something, make it an event type thing.
Yeah.
A big special.
Which is right around the corner.
It's not
with the
far.
way we've been
Quick.
banging these out.
Man.
It's coming up quick. They have been flying off the shelves. Absolutely. Every Monday.
Yes.
Every Monday, 7
7
a.m.
a.m.
Start your week off right. It's my favorite time of the week, Monday mornings. Hopefully now it is yours as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I love you. I hope you have a great night. Peace.
Later.